Hey everyone, it's Milo here, and today I wanna address the issue of what is the best weapon of every type and how you can get it. So most of the best weapons you can only acquire by going into the Menace dungeon, can only be unlocked once you have beat the main story of the game and you started a quest called Menace Beneath Lucis. And so that you can unlock this quest, you have fulfill some other requirements. I will talk about them at the end of the video. First I will go into the details, what is the best weapon and where you can find them. For some weapons there could be some kind of discussion what is the best weapon. Let's just start with the Greatsword. The definite best one is the Apocalypse. It has 597 attack and it has an additional effect. If your health points get decreased in fight, the lower your health is, the more damage output you have with this weapon. And you can find this Greatsword in the Menace dungeon in the Baloof Mines. And for the Apocalypse Greatsword you don't need to finish the whole dungeon, you just need to get until floor 10 and you will find it there. Not so for the Flayer, which is the best lance in game. You have to clear the full Menace dungeons of the Stalith Ruins. And the location of the Stalith Ruins, that's just basically the Menace dungeon within the dungeon where you've killed the Quetzalcoatl story boss. If you can remember, that was where Aranea first entered your party and yeah. The best gun in-game is the death penalty with 424 attack, and it has also a 1% chance to instantly kill an enemy if you fire at them. I don't know if this effect works on bosses though. And you can find this weapon in the same dungeon as the Greatsword Apocalypse, so in the Menace dungeon of the Baloof Mines. But for the death penalty you actually need to clear the whole dungeon and kill the last boss.
I even amaze myself sometimes.
Your ego is what amazes me.
Frankly, I'm just amazed we actually made it.
So regarding the one-hand swords, it actually depends on your playstyle what is the best weapon. So there are two options. One is the Balmung, which has the highest attack in-game from the one-hand swords. It has 446 attack, which is way more than the Oedema Plate has. But if you MP depletes, so will the attack of the sword in fight. Nonetheless, you can get the Balmung in the Stalith Ruins, in the Menace dungeon of course. You need to go through a lot of floors until you finally find Yoda kinda like Tonberries. And yeah, you need to defeat those and they will drop you this Balmung one-hand sword.
We're alive! Let's celebrate by eating something dead!
The second option is the Ultima Plate. Most of you will have this plate already, I think. It has the second highest attack from the one-hand swords, but its attack doesn't decreases when your MP depletes, and also it absorbs the elemental power of defeated foes, which makes it easier for you crafting spells. And other than the Balmung, it can be obtained very early in the game. You just upgrade your Angelate through the Sid quests on the Hammerhead gas station. There are a lot of guides out there and video tutorials on those quests. I think it's pretty self-explaining how to get the Ultimate Blade. So for the shield there's again two options. In my opinion the best shield is the Aegis shield. It has 292 attack, so it has less attack than the Citric shield, but it has a 10% chance to nullify any damage, and this also includes boss damage. Really helpful against Bilrost or Naglafar. And the Aegis shield you can also acquire in the Stalith Ruins Menace dungeon, and you can find it on floor 59. So for the Citric shield, which is kinda your second option for your endgame shield, but like I already said, I prefer the Aegis shield over the Citric shield. And as well as for the best crossplates, which are the Zwill crossplates. Actually those two can't be acquired by doing the Menace dungeons, but you have to follow a quest line, the Randolph legendary weapon quest line. And you can start this quest line right here. It has 5 steps. On step 3 you will get Citric shield. the best crossplates, the thrill plates you get on the 5th step of the Randolph quest line after defeating Naglafar, which is basically the Final Fantasy 15 equivalent of Omega weapon. It has 345 attack, but it has an additional effect. When you're full HP, you will deal 80% more damage. And considering this huge boost in damage and also considering the fast attack speed, I would say this is overall the highest DPS from all weapons, and from the crossplates by far the best.
So he's gonna turn this into something legendary, huh?
Randolph's Material of Legends.
Yeah.
TM.
We'll forge you another legend, Hunter. The legend goes with you. This is my last chapter. Everything I am and ever have been is in this weapon.
All right, but don't go dying on us or anything.
Fear not, lad. I've no intention of seeing the other side before I see this legend come to life. With this, the final chapter of the legend we have created draws to a close.
Yeah, but seriously, don't go dying on us.
Legends never die. I will remain here until the next legend is ready to be forged.
So for the people who don't know how to acquire the key for unlocking the Menace dungeons, let's go back to that. First you have to beat the main story of the game. After you finish the last boss, you have the option to create a save game and load it. Yeah, and you will do so obviously. And then in the camp you call Umbra, your dog, and travel back in time to Lucis. Once you're there, you will finish the 4 dungeons, Cresthorn channels, Baloof Mines, Coastal Mark Tower, and the Dorel Caverns. After you have done this, you go to the granny, and after you talk to her, she will give you a key, and this is the key with which you can open the locked doors in all the dungeons in game, and those are basically the Menace dungeons where you can find those weapons and I just showed you. So I hope I could help some of you, and if you enjoyed the video, like it and leave a subscribe for more.
Good to see you back, boys. I heard what you did. You faced the threats and defeated them all. With this, you fulfilled a promise that was made long ago by none other than your father.
What?
It was some 30 years ago. His Majesty came here, stood on that very spot, and took the vow.
To chase out the threats?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. As soon as the war was over, he said.